Transformers reviews, tech and the news, whatever else I use as a muse. Hit subscribe, I appreciate the views. Influences interest on YouTube.
What's going on, people? This is Influence. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if this is your first time. I implore you leave me a like and subscribe. Possibly, I don't ask for much, but I am today. Today I got Virtus X-Transbots version of Springer, which is the triple changer, and he comes in car mode, so I'm gonna start in car mode. And here he is. The car isn't much to look at. I mean, Springer was always a dumb design car wise. I always thought, even in the cartoon, the car looked stupid. I mean, it's supposed to be like Cybertronian, but I mean, to each their own. I just didn't dig the car too much. The helicopter was great. It looked like a futuristic helicopter, and of course the robot mode. So those are the two things that shine here as well. I don't think it does everything great. I don't think all three modes are the best, and there are some issues with this figure. Surprise, surprise. Unfortunately, I've come to hate reviewing X-Transbots figures. And the reason being is not that they're bad, but they always have a lot of shortcomings. They're such a great company as far as objectively. Like, they're putting out stuff, they're ambitious, they're going after certain things, but they've done some questionable things in the past, namely the Minnesota trailer and how the pricing and all that stuff and all that extra stuff that was supposed to come with it came separate for a whole separate price. That was like very non-transparent. Since then, they've been trying to clean up their image, and I'm not sure where they're at with their design team and with some of the choices that they make in materials and other stuff. So let's get to it. It's heavy. When you first get it out, you'll feel it's super heavy. It has a lot of die cast in it, but that is not just having die. I said it before, just having die cast and making it heavy does not make it feel premium. It feels heavy. It feels like it's worth what you're paying for it until you start fooling with it, and then it loses its luster for me. I do love some of their designs. I love their ambition. I love that they are going after bots that are not made, you know, like the Omnibots and Runabout, Run Amok. Those figures that they know won't sell as much as, say, Optimus Prime or something, but there's 50 of those out there, but companies still continue to do it. So let's just get into this. You can see we'll get into his accessories in a minute. You can put a gun up here. You can put the gun back here in between his feet, and it kind of gives him a little bit more cohesiveness. This down here, when you first get it, these won't be together. You need to put them together. They're the only thing holding it together on the back, except for the gun in the feet. And there's just two pegs on the sides. That is how you get this gun in there. And I like this gun in there. It kind of fills in the back too. But you can see those pegs in the side of the feet. And there's two pegs on this side of the gun. I'm not even sure if that's by design, but it seems like it is. So I did it. In car, you can open this up. It's got two seats. Has no drivers that can fit in there. At least I don't have anything that small that can fit in there. I'm sure maybe someone does. I don't. So also has a gimmick here. Lift this up, and we have the lights, and they also light up. So we got two 379 batteries, I believe, in each side, and there's a button on here. Push that, comes on. Oh, it's on this side. Because it's the same light. It's probably the same exact light. That's why the button's on this side. They just made the same mold and just put it on each side. There we go. So you have lights. And that's pretty nice. I know my lights are pretty bright. I don't turn them off just for this, but it's okay. It looks good, to tell you the truth. Can't really see it. And just how you put these in there, how you put the batteries, you just got to pull this off this way for both sides. Like over here, you pull this straight off, I'm not going to do it now because it is a kind of a pain. Then you just stick the batteries in. Video may be a little more thorough than most of my videos, aka long, just because I know their reputation. I know a lot of people, they left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth and they're wondering about the quality. So I just want to go through and talk about all of that, because there is some quality issues here and there's good here too. So I don't want that to be lost either. We have this. I've never seen this before. I don't know if they're using a new, if they went to Fans Toys school, or they order these stickers from the same place Fans Toys do just to stick them on, make it look good, or if there really is a QC Pass 02. So I guess it's the second worker that works on it. Well, bro, you didn't do the greatest job, because there's some things here. And I don't know if it's foreshadowing, but when it came out the box, like, this sticker's worn off from the door. So that's weird to me. I don't know if they're using cheap stickers even. So I'm just gonna take that off right now. I just wanted to show that. I left it on because I thought it was funny. The wheels back here, this thing doesn't peg on great. You see, it came off. It probably came off when I took the gun out the top. It doesn't peg on well, and there's a stress mark on this axle. It's a weird thing. The wheels are rubber. The wheels are on here in this center piece. These things just move around. You got the hands. I know people talked about their choice of where to put hands. They don't really know where. I don't know if it's too much to fold in. You'll see. It's some prime engineering choices here. You got these that move around. You can put them up. I'm not sure. I think they were more out like that, but you can do it in if you think they're more in. Make it more streamlined, or you can have it straight up. Doesn't matter. Again, over here you got rubber wheels. These are pretty loose, not super loose, but they will, while you're manipulating, you can hit it and it'll be like that, and then it'll fall in. Stuff like this doesn't really tab on, and there's a lot of tabs that don't tab. They just suggestively tab on to stuff. So let's get into accessories. There are abundance of accessories that are great. This gun, I like this gun. It's all silver mostly, with some molded details, but the thing I don't like is it comes apart easily, and it's just this little piece in here. I'll probably glue it because there's no reason for it to come apart, I don't think. But you just have just that gun. Then you have this gun. I really like this gun here. That's one of the reasons I plugged it into the back, because I think it matches the color scheme better, and the silver gun is better on the top. You got the green and you got the off-white, or the white kind of. You get the missile, of course, from that episode, the bomb, missile, rocket launcher, whatever it is. You get this guy. Now, I have no idea what this guy is. I assume maybe he's the Diaclone figure. Oh, no, wait. Is that Spike? Oh, no, this might have been the... Was it Nebulas? I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not sure. My memory is not the best, so you can jog my memory if you know what this guy is from. But it's really nice. It's a really nice figure. I kind of wish we would have got a figure like this, but smaller, to fit into the cockpit. It's a really nice figure, but it doesn't move. His arms stay this way. I don't know if he's directing traffic or what he's doing, or air traffic control, but it's really nicely painted, and the detail in the face. I don't really see the faces on little guys like this that are well done. Usually they're smeared up and looking kind of weird But yeah, and the hair texture, everything is really well done. This figure is really well done. I know we're not here for that. You get this head. I can tell you this was off in the box and it's really loose on this side. I don't know if this side's loose as well. This side seems tighter because oh no, it came off. It's loose as well. That's another piece that I probably would have glued. I'm not sure why they did not. Maybe you can take it off. No, it just looks weird off. Just almost look like the other head. So you get these faces here. You can see kind of an angry face. I may put that on him. I like that face. This kind of smile, little smirk. This kind of stoic. Kind of another kind of different type of stoic in this face. I think these go on this head. They look like they have more chin protruding, but all of them have different chins and eyebrows and kind of different type of look to them. So I think that's cool. That's nice. Of course, you got the books and stuff. Page, you got this. I just want to point it out. It's the sword. And it shows it's storing, but then they got a little addendum, I guess, correction, saying that it can't store. And it can't store. I guess, I don't know if the engineers was, sometimes I think they make these directions ahead of time after they get done designing it, and then they just do what they can. Get a card, tech specs. And then you have, well, you have this stand. It's a very nice stand. I show more in helicopter mode when it pegs on. And actually it may peg on, yeah, it can peg on car mode too. So the stand, there's a little place in his crotch, unfortunate for him, that he can peg on. And that's what he looks like pegged on. I mean, I got it kind of angled. And with this stand, in order to move this locks and this locks right here, kind of. So in order to move this thing, you gotta pull these out. These go out and then you pull them down. You see it went down a little bit. It's a little space there. Then you can move this freely. When you get it where you need it, you may have to move it around some in order, I assume it's catching these teeth. And then you can move it up. And see, I can't really move it up because it's not in the exact spot. So you want to move it a little bit more. Still can't. Move it a little bit more. And I think it should be enough. Nope, still not. So let me just move it while I'm pushing up and see what happens. There we go. So then it goes up and it locks. This comes in 2 separate pieces. Kind of hard to get out, but they go here and this end will line up to here. So if you got it the other way, it won't line up. It'll be over, so you know it's wrong. And then right here, it's kind of tight, but you can move it like this. And then in order to, you don't really need to lock it because it won't go anywhere. But in order to lock, you're supposed to push this down into, like it catches one of these teeth right here. And like I said, I haven't really felt the need to because it's so hard to do. Then you get these blast effects, really nice blast effects, and everything pegs under here. You got the sword handle pegs right there, so it goes across. You got a gun that pegs in right here. You can peg it here, or you can peg it over here like this. Either gun can do that. I'm not going to do it right now because I'm going to need the guns later. The only thing you can't peg in here, you can peg the blast effects you saw, and these things come separate. You just got to stick, well, no, I think mine fell out. I don't think it came separate, but that's where the blast effects go. Just stick it in there. It's easier if you just slide in like that instead of trying to push it in and down. Also may break. But yeah, they feel good. You get the sword that doubles as the helicopter blade, and we'll show more of that in helicopter mode. And last but not least is this thing right here that was a pain to put together. It comes in 8 pieces, I believe, and then the center piece, each piece is individually wrapped, which is good for protection. And I'm gonna cut to me building this. I don't know if they thought this through correctly. I mean, it's working, but it is clear plastic and it's probably gonna break, or it can break easily. So what you gotta do is put this over top of this tab and then insert this right here. I don't know if you can see that. I know the lighting ain't great in here. So you insert that, you kind of put it over the top and insert this in here. Isn't you just try to get that over and keep that under, then you can peg that in like that. Just all the way down, then you peg this in. I imagine this one's probably the hardest because you got to try to do it on both sides. That in there like that, and try to get this one how you need it. Also, and there you go. Like I said, I don't think it was super necessary, but I mean, it is something, and it's pretty big. It's super big, actually. Back from building that in the box, I'm not gonna go too much since we just got done that montage of building and tech specs. Get him into helicopter. So there's a peg here and a peg that goes in that way. And I'm gonna pull these off first just to give some room and put them in like that. You don't really have to worry about it because they may come out, but then you want to try to get this together. Pull that out like that, and you see those 2 pegs, the peg there that slides into there, you may break that if you don't get it slid out, and this goes into there on top right there. So once you get that out, then you can move this out like this, and you can move the waist out to give you some room. It's a pain, but you can do it. There you go. It slides out. It's hard to get back, but it does give you the room and clearance that you kind of need. It feels flimsy as I don't know what, so that is not good. But once you do that, and you move all this around, you gotta be careful. Move this around here, plug that into there. Then you can move this piece right here. I'll do that later because I don't want to bend it and break it. But you're gonna want to move the legs on the thighs in. They go in like, and I don't know if I ever gotten it in all the way, but you can see right there how far they go in. Then you can just plug this back into there. It kind of makes it flush right here. So do the same thing over here. Move this out. Spin this around at the thigh. Kind of get that. Move this around at the thigh like that. And then move this thigh in. There you go. And you move that. And you kind of move it down a little bit. And now with this, I'll put it in now. So you slide that in here. It's a thin little piece and you gotta kind of move it around stuff as usual. Move it around and slide it into that little piece. And there we go. Not the greatest feeling thing in the world, but then I try to get this together to get it all together. These feet are on like a little slider inside of here. It's super loose though. If you can see, it moves around. It has a lot of give, which I don't like. Like I said, I don't know if I ever got these thighs right, but anyway. Then if these aren't out, mine seem to be out, so you pull them out and then you can put them all together like that. Now to work on the front. After the first transformation, this doesn't seem to ever peg in right, so there's a gap there. Could be user error, but I'm not sure. I don't know. But we can turn it over. Move these wheels in like this. Move that in like that. Move this out here. This piece. Just this piece. I'm trying to move this too with it, but that ain't how you do it. Just move that piece out and then you move this way. It's on a little spinner there. And then you have a tab there that goes in there. Not the greatest. There you go. Move this back up. Move this panel down. And then there's this little peg thing right there that you want to push down because it moves independently. Then you move this on this slider here. Now there's a kind of like, not even a peg. It's just like a space for that peg. But then this right here, well, you want to move, I'm sorry, you want to leave this like this. But that's kind of weird to me that there's no space there. Like there's not a, it's just a suggestion of a tab. So let's do it over here again. And this, how this is tabbed into here, it's just like the edge of this is tabbed into right there. So yeah, you move that out. You want to move this up like that. Move this over. This one moves a pretty better on this side. Move that. Move this out. I don't think I moved this out on here. Move that out. You can move these if you want out. They're on sliders. Move it all the way out there like that. Move them out on the slider like that. And then you can move this back in here. Move this back. And don't forget to move this peg because it doesn't move independently with this. You move that and it kind of pegs in there a little. Then you have that on top of there. And this one ain't pegged in because I missed a peg. So then it goes in there. And that's what kind of keeps it together. Now with these things, you can't even see. These things right here, you want to move around and pull this up because this is going to latch on to here. It doesn't do a great job, but that's what it does. So move that up. Then it's going to latch on to here. So you want it like this and kind of get it over top. Now you got to push this waist back in if you pulled it out. Sometimes you can get it without pulling it out, but I don't know. So it is kind of hard. And you want to get all this stuff together at the same time. You got to try to get this up. it can become a pain because it's loose. So it's just moving around. You'll probably tighten this screw to get it a little tighter. I like to push it up all the way and then try to move it all the way in. Again, it's not giving me a great feel. Come on, man. There you go. Get that down like that and then try to push this in. So that is all the way on top. And you push that in there like that, in there like that. Then you can get this like really well where you need it to be. Push it in once you get those things in. And then with this, you pull it out a little bit, push it down, and then move it up. If you don't push it down first, if you try to move this out and then move it, well, it's not too bad. But if you move it up and you move it out, it's gonna scrape. So you just move it down and move it out, and then it goes in there. This is coming out, so you can just push it in, and it goes in a little bit further, so it's more seamless. Make sure you have everything together. And I believe I'm finished. Well, then last but not least, take this and you just split it. Fresh out the box. I didn't show it doing accessories. Got paint there that's scraping off probably from moving it back and forth. You got paint here scraping off. Paint is chewed up right there. Just noting it. I do like how they have the handle in order to form the little top part. I'm not sure if that's been done before. Then you want to put this in. It's at an angle on one side, and you put that in the back. It can only go in a certain way anyway. And now you have helicopter mode. Here's helicopter mode in the 360. Pretty nice. It's a nice helicopter mode. It looks like him. There's some choice stuff up here that little gap right there, just mentioning it. It's not the biggest deal. There's also a gap in the back. Again, I'm just mentioning it right here. It's not the biggest deal as well for me in helicopter. Helicopter is great to me. Again, it's probably the best alt mode. He has landing gear in helicopter mode. So you got this right here. You pull this out if you can get it. It's easier to get on the side right there. So you pull that out, you flip this over, and then you move this back down, and it kind of catches right in there like that. Again, over here, you want to pull this out. I don't like that the feet are like this. They should have had a tab to go together. Pull that out, flip that over, and let it roll into there. And then you have landing gear here. You want to move that, and you got to try to move this out or through underneath here. So you gotta have it at the right angle and then move it that way, and then it moves like that, and you can push that back up and ever so slightly. Now these wheels are plastic, and you see it does work and it rolls. It's so heavy that the plastic wheels don't matter. They roll anyway. It puts a lot of force on there. But I do like how they did the landing gear, because it does put a lot of force on it, so it's not going to close. So then we can close this. I'm just going to close the landing gear for now. Now with the landing gear closed, you can insert the guns in here if you would like to. So you have gun storage if you want that. Again, there's nothing in the directions that I saw about gun storage. And also you can put him onto, if you do it like this, it doesn't fit. It looks like it should fit, but it doesn't. So you gotta turn around like this. But then you have this going on. So you can get a dynamic pose, kind of looking like Airwolf, flying in for the kill. And you can put these on here if you want in helicopter mode. And this one over here is tight, so we'll just leave it at that. So yeah, here you go, a dynamic pose, I should say. And last but not least, for helicopter mode, you have this little bit, this thing right here that kind of mimics the blades. And it's kind of not a bad thing. I don't think it was necessary personally, but is anything ever necessary? All this stuff is probably going in somewhere, but you can spin it. But you know, if you have it at the right angle, it kind of gives it that, like the blades are spinning fast, the animation. Because we all know real helicopter blades, you can't really even see them. They sometimes look still, depending on how you're looking at them. So robot mode, you want to peg this together. We're going to do the legs first. Undo that. Move this out again. Just have this like this. Move this around. I get this down and then back up just to get it out the way. I do like that it is very slimline there. And there's a lot of die cast. I think these things are die cast. They feel cold. I think these wings are die cast. The legs, the thighs are die cast. So it's very hefty. But like I said in the beginning, that doesn't always mean a great figure. So you move these out. You want to move the thighs back together how they should be. Move this back like that. And then be careful taking this out of here. It doesn't feel the greatest, but what can you do? And fold this in like that. So without getting behind, then you can move this up here and peg it in on the side there. And this right here just stays like that, I believe. You move this down and it becomes the feet. I thought these were heel spurs at first, but I don't think they function as heel spurs. Last time I tried it, it wasn't too heel spurry. Let me see. I don't know if they function as heel spurs going out. They kind of can. So you can do that if you need to. I don't think they're great over here. Well, they're not bad. So you can pull them out as a heel spur. You might need it. I don't think that's the function of them, to tell you the truth. But anyway, let's move on. So then you want to move this back here. You already flipped that down, so you got to move this down. You want to move this around here. Move this like this. Move it up here like this, because then you want to flip this over, and it's this front piece, and then you tuck all this in here, and you can line everything up as far as the pegs and stuff. Oh, and don't forget this piece right here. Push it up, because then it gives it room for the feet. Now these pegs aren't great, and that's one of my gripes that I will get into in robot mode. So then you do the same thing over here. You take this piece out, you flip that like that, move this down, put the thighs back together, move the thighs back around, then move this up here, you move this down here, and then there's a peg here that goes into that metal piece on the leg. Goes in like that. That piece isn't too bad. It's kind of great. So then you accordion this up here. So from here, make sure you put that in, and then you move this all the way over because it creates that space to get it in there. This feels horrible, but it feels hard to do. You move this up here, move this like that, and then I will get the landing gear out just to make a heel spur that I'm not sure if it does make a heel spur or not. Then you put these together. So you have the legs. Legs are finished. And we're going to talk about that ratchet as well. Yeah, I moved the legs the wrong way. So move them this way. You know, this is the crotch. So move that this way. There we go. Then you can kind of move these in as far as they go, and they kind of streamline in the back. Now for all this stuff up here, infamous X-Transbots, you gotta bend this plastic like this in order to get these two pegs. There's pegs that peg into here. You can move that up, and then you see that peg right there, and then that peg right there. It's not terrible, but still, you know. And we're gonna get this backpack together. I gotta figure this out. You can't see that. I gotta figure which way this goes after you get all this together. So you can slide this in there, move this back in, move this back down into there, put this back like that. So then you want to do the same thing over here. Move this down, move, or push it all the way down. It's kind of sharp, so be careful. Move that in, push this around here. Goes in there like that, move that up. So there we go. Now what we want to do is turn to the side, move this in like this. Get this out, because once you move this in, you're going to want to, you see that bar, you're going to want to slide this all the way back. And I mean all the way back. It goes all the way down here. Then you can move this like this, move this in like that. Again over here, let me get this better because it's not all the way in like it should be. There we go. So you move this in and move it all the way down until it stops the edge. This you can move back here like that, and then you can bring this down even farther, and it wants to be, you want it like this pointing in, so it'll fit into the cavity right here. This is up, so you want the triangles up because it creates a slope in order to fit in here and makes the backpack. And then you want to slide this together like this, because eventually it's going to come out. You want to move this, you kind of move it in there like that, around that. Of course, might as well move it around everything else, and then you push it closed. Now these things you're going to need to keep open like this, because they're eventually gonna tab into these two clips right here. But now we're gonna work on this front section. So I just closed the wheels, just get the wheels around. And then with this, these you want to push out. You kind of want to pull it up as far as they can go, but it still is rubbing. This is straight first time out the box. All of this paint rubbed off because these two things touch and there's no way around it. So then you move this all the way up in order to get that tab through there. And then as soon as you get it through there, you got to move it back down in order to tab this in there. Now it's weird that this doesn't have a tab. I guess they didn't want to put another tab there. So just like rest up against there. Once you get it down on that slider, you gotta make sure it's in there first and then down, and then you can get it in there like that. And you see what I mean? It just rests there. But then you can unfurl the arms, move them down, move this down, move this around, tab it in, move this down and up, and then you have an arm. Get that where it needs to be. But then the same thing over here, push that out that way. And once you get it all the way like that, then you move it down and get it in there like that. You move this arm down. Oh, this slides down too. That's one of the things I hate as well, because it's not strong. It breaks. I mean, it feels like it's gonna break. It hasn't broken, but you got to pull this down and lock it. Like a lot of things, it's hard for one. For two, when you pull it down, it doesn't really lock right. It locks side to side. And if you don't get it locked, this arm is like that. But if you, there you go, got it locked. Now the arm isn't too wobbly, but that is a hard joint. So let me do it over here too. Over here is a little better. It comes out better, but then this side is still wobbly. This side isn't wobbly, but this side is wobbly. I don't know if I don't have it all together right or what, but that's what creates that swivel. So you can kind of put this down back where it goes. And this is the waist bend, really. And that does not seem great. Like those teeth are just plastic on plastic. Then you want to pull this down, move this, flip out his head, push these sides up like that, flips his head around. Then you want to pull this piece out right here. This is it. You can pull that flap down and then grab the flap and pull it up. And then you just got to maneuver this. So you want to push these kind of down like this, so you can maneuver this into a section over here. This has to be up a little bit, but it has to go on top. And you can push this down more in a better area. But at the same time, also, you have to get this together, which it doesn't go in well. No, I got that wrong. There you go. You get all that. Now for the backpack, just had the backpack like this and push this up, and these two things that clip on to there. They're pretty strong, and you may have to maneuver them to the correct position. First time I did it, it wasn't hard at all. Now I can't get it. They're not in their correct position. There we go. And there we go. And here is the robot. And yeah, he's okay. I mean, I like the way he looks. He's a little small for me, but some people like that, and I can't blame you. If you like it, you like it. We got MMC Springer here, which I love, and he's my Springer, except for the knees. I don't have no issue with him standing on the shelf. And RC here, of course, RC's not gonna stand, so I'll lean her up against him. So I will probably, I don't have fans toys here. I'll probably do a comparison between these two guys. I definitely like him better. He's gonna be my Springer. It's just bulkier up top. I like Springer bulky and chunky, and there's a lot of stuff I like better on this guy, but we'll get into it when I do the comparisons. But yeah, if you like a little slimmer Springer and a little more streamlined, I mean cartoon accuracy for what it's worth, and that's how he compares. I think he's a good scale for RC. So we can get into articulation and talk about some of the downfalls that I don't like. Right here, that waist, whatever, the waist joint that goes up is wobbly. Now you can get it down as far as possible, but it's still wobbly. You do have a waist bend, or a waist ab crunch, I should say. Like I said, that ab crunch does not feel great. You do got abs all the way around. I do like his backpack too. I think they really slimlined his backpack. I think he's really slimline. He just doesn't feel good. It's heavy, but it just doesn't feel good to me. So his head, his face sculpt, what comes with him, I think is great. I like the eyes, I like the paint. You do see some paint scratching on the thighs, like the inner parts. It's just not painted as well as I would like it. Like, it doesn't look like they took as much time to paint it. It does have a lot of paint. You have this on his forearms, which I don't know if they're bombs or communicators or what, but they're on both sides. So you can do that gimmick. He does not hold the sword well. He holds both his guns well. See if I can get that in there, like, as I say that and can't get it in. So he was holding his gun. Okay, on this side, he holds it well without the hands. Let me see if this one fits better over here. This one fits better over here. Oh, it just popped out. I don't know if that's paint or if it's just not tolerance correctly, or a little of both probably. So you got to kind of, once you get it in, it doesn't come out. But then on either side, I can't really get his sword in. His sword handle's pretty loose. I don't know why. And maybe that's what's contributing to not being able. Ah, there we go. See, on camera, I do it. I couldn't do it all yesterday and today. So scratch that. He does hold his sword. Maybe the handle, maybe because the handle, yeah, he holds his sword well. So I'm not gonna say anything there. Blast effects in the gun work. Just because I didn't show it before. So head goes down that far, goes up like that, spins all the way around. Arms are on friction, and you can get them all the way around, and you can get them out like this. No butterfly really. I mean, you can kind of get a butterfly because you have the out and in, but that's it. Bicep swivels there. Double jointed elbow to get you full everything. You get hands spinning all the way around. Fingers are individually articulated. with all the knuckles that you have as a human, even the thumb. Thumb has 2 knuckles, the base knuckle and secondary knuckle. No movement in the hand in and out. Skirts wise, you can get all 4 skirts out, and there's no skirt in the back. So he does have a ratchet. We need to talk about those ratchets. They're really strong, no failing. But the thing I can say is, the thing that people, I like ratchets to the side, but this is the negative of ratchets to the side. The teeth need to be smaller and they need to be stronger because there's all this room. So this A stance is fine for me, but when you set them down, it goes out to there because that's how far in between, you know, the space where the teeth is, and then that's the next one, but then it goes out to there. So if you want it like this, on here it's fine, but when I'm on my shelf, it slides and it goes out to there. Same thing here. I like this, it's fine here. When it's on my shelf and I put them down, it slides out to there. Now they try to counteract that sliding with the rubber pads, and they work sometimes. Well, let's go forward. Forward is soft ratcheted. He's not doing any hurdles. He's gonna hit them every time, so that's a little limited. He has thigh swivel up here. Single jointed knee gets you 90, and he has rocker that goes out that far, goes in that far. He can go down a little bit, about like that. If these aren't out, he could probably do more. Let me see. Yeah, he can go down a little bit more with these like this, and no spin or anything. And he doesn't really, I don't think these are heel spurs, I'm not sure, but I use them as such. I don't even know if they help any. The knees can be, they're ratchet, but they do fail sometimes. Like you see, he's heavy, so if you get him a little bit, and to be fair, MMC that I just showed doesn't even have any ratchets in the knees, so that does the same thing. So I mean, it's a criticism just for criticism's sake, so people know. But again, it probably wouldn't make a difference for me. It's other stuff that I don't like that makes the difference for me. I may use this as a vehicle mode, I don't know. Again, I think that's it. He can't really use this in this mode. He doesn't really need to. I mean, he stands up pretty good besides those problems that I have stated. I think that's mainly it. I hope I didn't miss anything. His arm sometimes comes out. It's not pegged in as tight as I would like. So this has been Inflewence. If you enjoyed this video, again, I thank you for joining me, and show me some love in the comments, and like, subscribe, whatever you want to do. All right, and I'm out.
Life ain't over, life ain't over. As long as you alive, you can give another try and take it real high if you want.